Do you know that over the past 25 years, India has changed prime ministers multiple times? The United States has seen several presidents come and go, and the United Kingdom has experienced frequent leadership changes. But in Russia, there's been almost a single name for about 25 years: Vladimir Putin. Today, there's an entire generation in Russia that has grown up seeing only Putin in power. And perhaps the most surprising part, after constitutional changes, he can potentially remain in power until 2036. But the real question is, how does one person stay in power for so long, and why do people still support him? To understand this, we need to go back to Russia in the 1990s. In 1991, the dissolution of the Soviet Union took place. A massive superpower broke into 15 separate countries. This wasn't just a political collapse, it triggered a deep economic and social crisis. Russia entered a period of chaos. At that time, the president was Boris Yeltsin, but his rule was marked by corruption and disorder. The economy shrank by nearly 40%. State assets were sold off cheaply to a small group of wealthy individuals, and oligarchs began to dominate the system. While a few became billionaires, ordinary people fell into poverty. Inflation soared to nearly 1,000%, millions lost their jobs, and people's savings were wiped out. Society was filled with fear, frustration, and uncertainty. In such conditions, people were searching for a strong leader. Then, in 1999, an unknown figure emerged: Vladimir Putin. He was a former KGB officer with little public political recognition. He was initially seen as loyal, system-savvy, and manageable. That same year, a series of apartment bombings shook Russia, killing hundreds. The nation was gripped by fear. Putin blamed Chechen militants and promised a tough response. With that one stance, he began to be seen as a strong, decisive leader. In times of fear and instability, people often gravitate towards strength, and Putin filled that role. He launched military operations and gradually built an image as a protector of the nation. This helped him win elections and rise to the presidency. But Putin wasn't just a politician, he was a trained intelligence officer. His 15 years in the KGB taught him how to control information, weaken opponents, and maintain power. Once in power, he placed loyal allies in key positions, tightened control over media, and weakened opposition forces. By 2003, a large portion of key government roles was held by people close to him. So why do people still support him? Because he brought stability out of chaos. He improved the economy to some extent and restored Russia's image as a strong global power. For many people, security became more important than freedom. Vladimir Putin is not just a president, he represents a system. Like a strategist, he understands that power is not just about winning it, but about holding on to it. And so far, he has succeeded. But the final question remains: is Putin truly making Russia stronger, or gradually turning it into a tightly controlled state?